So thank you, friends, for joining into this session. As Kishore said, this is our 22nd, session on this. And probably after this, if I'm right, Kishore, we'll be taking a kind of a 1 week or 2 weeks break for Diwali.
Yes, we would be taking a two-week Diwali break, and after Diwali, we will again start these sessions.
Okay, all right. Okay, so friends, a lot of discussions keep on happening about the maintenance practices, and that's where we thought, like, why not pick up this particular topic, the lean maintenance practices. Okay, and if we look back, the maintenance process actually shares significant operating cost in any organization. Lean thinking also can be incorporated even into maintenance activities through applying its principles and the practices. So a very often asked question is that can a manufacturing operation truly be lean without applying the lean strategies to equipment maintenance? And answer is no. Lean maintenance is a prerequisite for lean manufacturing systems. Okay. So this reminds me of a quote by a maintenance consultant, John Kravantuka. He finds that overall equipment effectiveness, or the OEE, these rates typically hover around 50% or lower, and maintenance departments are always stuck in what they call as the breakdown mode. If they had around 100 maintenance jobs, 80 to 90 would be more of fixing the equipment, and maybe only 10 or so would be doing something very proactive. And they are actually stuck into that mode. They are always into fixing the things which have broken down. They're never able to get into a proactive mode. Okay. Now, if we also look from the other angle, cost of the maintenance activities, they are also estimated to be 15 to 70% of the total production cost, apart from the energy cost. Okay. This is second largest part, okay, of the operational budget. So when you have these kind of the costs going into the production from the maintenance, it's but natural that somebody has to look into the maintenance practices and try to make them as effective as possible. So today we are going to we will first start along with some orientation of the basic maintenance and maintenance types before getting into the lean maintenance. Then we will discuss the characteristics of the foundational elements of lean maintenance, implementation practices, measuring the lean maintenance programs, and also how traditional maintenance contrasts along with the lean maintenance. Okay. So to begin with, what is maintenance? Okay. So I would say that nothing lasts forever, and all the equipments in a plant always will have some predefined life expectancy or operational life. Maintenance is the work of keeping the plant and equipment in good condition for operations. Okay. It is the action taken to prevent plant and equipment from failing and to repair normal degradation experienced with the operation and to keep it fit for operation. Some organizations do not expend the necessary resources to maintain the equipment in proper working order. Instead, they wait for equipment failure to occur and then take whatever actions are necessary to repair or replace the equipment. However, this factor is to be kept in mind that if there is a failure in performing the maintenance activities intended by the equipment designer, the life of the operating equipment gets highly shortened. Okay, so this is what the basic maintenance is about. An effective maintenance program can result into more reliable plant and equipment. Fewer breakdowns will mean that less dangerous contact with machinery is required. It also results into cost benefits because of better productivity and efficiency. Maintenance activity can consist of taking the decisions and actions regarding the upkeep of the plant and equipment. And these are, I'm just going to read out these four, which are inclusive, but they are not limited to these kind of the actions. First action is focused on maintaining and analyzing the data related to plant and equipment health. Second is planning of adequate and necessary inventory of spare parts, lubricants, fast-moving consumables, and storage items. This could include even the standardization of the space and consumables. Then the third one is actions focused on scheduling, procedures, work system controls, and optimization. And the fourth one is performance of routine, preventive, predictive, scheduled, and unscheduled actions aimed at preventing equipment failure, as well as achieving the goal of increasing efficiency, reliability, and safety. Okay. So there are normally three types of the maintenance types. There are different opinions onto it, but let me go through the first three types of it. So the first one is the reactive or breakdown maintenance, which basically consists of running the equipment till it breaks down. Okay. No actions are taken or efforts are made to maintain the equipment. Under this approach, there is no expenditure on maintenance, manpower, nor on cost of space and consumables till there is a breakdown of the equipment. Okay. But a large expenditure would be needed when there is a breakdown of the equipment, both in terms of the labor cost as well as the capital cost. Okay. So that's the first type, reactive or breakdown maintenance. The second part is, or the second type is preventive maintenance, which is defined as the actions performed on a time or machine run based schedule that detect, preclude, or mitigate degradation of a component or equipment with the aim of sustaining or expanding its useful life through controlling degradation to an acceptable level. Okay. With preventive maintenance, the equipment life is extended and its reliability is increased by simply spending the necessary resources to conduct the maintenance activities intended by the equipment designer. Okay. The third one is more important, the predictive maintenance. And it can be defined as the measurements that detect the onset of a degradation mechanism, thereby allowing the casual stresses to be eliminated or controlled prior to any significant deterioration in the component or equipment physical state. Okay. Measurements results indicate current and future functional capabilities of the equipment. Basically, predictive maintenance differs from preventive maintenance need on the actual condition of the equipment rather than on some preset schedule. Predictive maintenance is used to define the needed maintenance tasks based on quantified material equipment conditions. Okay. So these are the three types of the maintenance overall. However, ABB, the giant ABB, defines the four types of the maintenances. They say corrective maintenance, preventive maintenance, your risk-based maintenance, and condition-based maintenance. Okay. In corrective maintenance, they say that the maintenance is carried out following the detection of an anomaly and aimed at restoring normal operating conditions. This approach is based on the firm belief that the costs sustained for downtime and repair in case of fault are lower than the investment required for a maintenance program. This strategy may be cost effective until the catastrophic faults occur. Okay. So cases where the equipment is pretty reliable and we know that, it doesn't make sense to open up the equipment or maintain that till something really goes wrong. And it is okay to, let the error happen till that time, manage the entire working. That is what we talked about as the corrective maintenance. Preventive maintenance is the maintenance carried out at predetermined interval or according to prescribed criteria, aimed at reducing the failure risk of performance degradation of the equipment. This type of the equipment cycles are planned according to the need to take the device out of the service. The incidence of operating faults is reduced via this. Okay. The third one is the risk-based maintenance, which is the maintenance carried out by integrating analysis, measurement, and periodic test activities to standard preventive maintenance. The gathered information is viewed in the context of the environmental, operational, process condition of the equipment in the system. The aim is to perform the asset condition and risk assessment and define the appropriate maintenance program. Okay. All equipment displaying abnormal values is refurbished or replaced. In this way, it is possible to extend the useful life and guarantee the over time high levels of reliability, safety, and efficiency of the plant. Okay. The fourth one is the condition-based maintenance. And this maintenance is based on the equipment performance monitoring, and the control of the corrective actions taken as a result. Okay. The real actual equipment condition is continuously assessed by the online detection of significant working device parameters and their automatic comparison with the average value and performance. Maintenance is carried out when certain indicators give the signaling that the equipment is deteriorating and the failure probability is increasing. Okay. Just one second. Okay. So these are the four types of the maintenance which ABB has very specifically identified over here. Okay. So having seen this, let's also try to understand what is the lean maintenance. Lean maintenance is a proactive maintenance philosophy and strategy that aims to support reliability in the most efficient way possible. It is founded on the concept of total productive maintenance, which is an initiative for getting everyone involved in maintenance tasks and management. We did a session on the TPM and we talked at length about the various pillars of the TPM and how TPM actually works upon it. Okay. TPM considers how each person at every level of an organization can support maintenance and the reliability of the equipment operations. Okay. The main goal of the lean maintenance is to keep costs to a minimum while supporting the high uptime and efficiency. Its result is more profitable and sustainable operations. So that is what the lean maintenance is defined. On the other hand side, if we see basics of lean maintenance are very simple. When properly applied to maintenance processes, lean strategies can remove waste and improve the equipment performance. Okay. Lean maintenance is defined as delivery of maintenance services to customers with as little waste as possible, of producing a desirable maintenance outcome with the fewest inputs as possible. Okay. Lean management is also a management strategy that aims to apply the lean principles and goals to physical asset management. The ultimate goal of lean thinking is to provide the perfect value to the customer through processes that generate zero waste. In this context, waste refers to the use of resources, which could be time, labor, inventory, energy, and so on and so forth. And they should be in any way, they should be used in any way that does not add value to the final product or services. Okay. If it doesn't add the value, then it is a waste. If it adds the value, then it is not a waste. Okay. By applying these same lean goals, lean maintenance results into improved productivity and reduced cost, while also relying heavily on practices inherent in total productive maintenance and also the reliability centered maintenance to be effective. Okay. So again, in short, this turns out to be also a management strategy. And as the lean's goals are to reduce the waste, the same thing applies even into maintenance, that how do you reduce the waste into the maintenance operations. So lean maintenance versus lean manufacturing. This is again, a common topic which always comes up. And let's differentiate between them. Lean manufacturing uses the customer orders to pull production from the raw material. If you remember, the lean philosophy is based upon the pull. Create the pull, create the flow, and work upon that. Okay. So it is most successful when the company has a reliable mix of orders coming in at a steady pace. Okay. And it is also possible to set a maintenance schedule so that the schedule pulls the maintenance activity. However, by itself, a schedule cannot prevent the unexpected breakdowns of the equipment. Okay. Such breakdowns are equivalent to casting the entire manufacturing schedule aside, because the most important customer may have placed a rush order that preempts all kind of the other orders. Okay. So machine breakdowns cannot be fitted into a schedule. Instead, they preempt the schedule. Breakdowns may require ordering replenishment parts on a rush basis. Simply scheduling maintenance does not guarantee the absence of the breakdowns. Okay. So maintenance needs to be planned where the manufacturing can be pulled by the customer orders. Okay. And that's the key difference between the lean maintenance and lean manufacturing. Okay. So once again, manufacturing needs to be planned, maintenance needs to be planned, but manufacturing can be pulled by the customer orders. That's the only basic difference between the lean manufacturing and lean maintenance. However, lean maintenance remains as a prerequisite for achieving the lean manufacturing. Primary concept for the lean manufacturing is to reduce the wastage of the several types. Similarly, lean maintenance also needs to avoid the waste. While all the 7 types of the waste or the 8 types of the lean waste also apply into the lean maintenance, we can group variety of the lean maintenance waste into the 3 specific areas. 1, wasted maintenance, that is maintenance or repair does not add any kind of a value. It doesn't improve the availability of the machine. Second, inefficient maintenance, that is even if it does add value, it is still not serving the entire purpose. Or sporadic maintenance with cycles of low versus frantic activities, and that could happen because I sometimes don't really do the preventive maintenance. I'm relying upon the breakdown, The breakdown activity would be a frantic activity because it is stopping the production. Okay, so this is the third type of the waste which can happen into the maintenance. And a lean maintenance practice tries to smoothen out all these three wastes over here and eliminate them as much as possible. Okay. So whether you call it lean maintenance, maintenance excellence, or anything, whatever you want to say, there are several lean strategies that when applied to the maintenance processes can remove the waste and improve the OEE rate and other metrics such as the safety, quality, and productivity. You would see some of these terms which have already been discussed in past at length in the various webinars. 5S is a foundation for any kind of a lean strategy. Unless we have the workplace organized effectively using 5S, ability to make other lean tools remains low. Maintaining a clean environment also means that your machines are in good conditions. So that's where we use the 5S very specifically into this. And if you remember, the third S, shine, is actually aimed at getting the machines into a good working conditions where you can spot if in case there is a breakdown or there is a any kind of a thing going wrong, it's visually controllable and visually traceable in terms of a machine giving a problem. The second part or the second element of the lean maintenance is just in time, JIT. Okay. JIT is a concept commonly used in reference to the inventory. Companies use this strategy to reduce waste during the production process by receiving goods into their stock only when needed. Okay. In lean maintenance, operators would aim to predict the repairs as accurately as possible. Repairs should never be done too soon or too late, and all the necessary spare parts should be available when due. Okay. In other words, monitoring equipment and purchasing parts just in time for the next maintenance task is what the JIT would provide into lean maintenance. Okay. The third one is the elimination of muda. We have already talked about the Murimura muda. Muda is nothing but the waste. And in the lean maintenance, we identify the 7 types of the waste. All those particular waste apply even into the lean maintenance practices also. Okay. In case of the lean maintenance, we need to ensure that resources are not wasted while correcting the repairs or servicing mistakes, ensuring that there are no delays and idle time as a result of the downtime or the part shortage or slow approval, etc. Not allowing activities like work orders and maintenance requirements to pile up. These are some of the examples of muda which we can apply out to the lean maintenance. Okay. The fourth one over here is the total productive maintenance. And as we said earlier on, the TPM is, or rather lean maintenance practice is actually based upon the TPM. TPM, as we saw it earlier, is a hands-on, system-wide and proactive approach to maintenance that lies at the very root of the lean maintenance. Ideally, TPM should be already implemented and operational before an organization makes plans to adopt and sustain the lean maintenance. Take one of the pillars of TPM, autonomous maintenance, for instance. From top to the bottom of the organization, it ensures that every employee is involved in carrying out the routine maintenance on the physical assets they operate daily. By so doing, the enterprise enjoys the benefits of having a team of multi-skilled technicians, operators, and executives all working together to limit the incidents of losses, breakdowns, and other inconveniences. So TPM becomes another foundational element over here. The fifth and the last foundational element is the reliability-centered maintenance, which is again another proactive maintenance strategy used to monitor the physical assets in the present operating conditions and predict their maintenance requirements. Since if you remember, we said earlier on that 15 to 70% of the operational budget costs come from the equipment failures. It is also said that 70% of those equipment failures are also self-induced. Maintenance engineers need to discover the causes of these failures. However, so if they can discover these kind of the failures, they can also recommend the preventive maintenance actions. So reliability-centered maintenance is all about predicting the failures and defining the standardized work and the actions for preventive maintenance. So that's the reliability-centered maintenance. There are a few other elements also, which we can again talk about over here. For an example, proactive maintenance, which is proactive rather than reactive. And this maintenance all should be in place and operational before we start getting into lean maintenance. Work order system. This is again a typical maintenance, component. This would capture all work assigned with details about maintenance schedules and job status. When managed along with a computerized management maintenance system, work orders are invaluable for quick access to information, especially the equipment history. Okay. CMMS, which is computerized maintenance management system, it should perform the following functions: budget and cost, work order management, planning and scheduling, space management, reporting and labor management. So if you have to manage these functions, CMMS, that will again help you to implement the lean maintenance in a very effective way. The other system which will again help us into implementing lean maintenance is enterprise asset inventory. This will help in ensuring that no machine is overlooked during the maintenance planning. And the last part which will come in over here without any kind of a doubt is the training and empowerment of the operators. We require both training and empowerment of operators before handing over machines to them. Okay. And if we have actually done this properly, then the operators will be able to own up the machine and ensure that the machine is working in a good condition. Okay. This also is taken up as part of the TPM implementation very effectively. Okay. So these are the other elements of the lean maintenance. This chart I found very interesting, and it has a complete depiction of the lean maintenance practices. Okay. And it talks about 4 specific bundles: JIT bundle, TQM bundle, TPM bundle, and the HRM bundle. Okay, we'll just quickly talk about what are these 4 bundles about. So just in time, as we talked, it refers to the maintenance, in reference to the maintenance, advocates several tools to be deployed out over here. Okay. Kanban, SMAD, work standardization, tech time, visual controls, distributed MRO stores, computerized maintenance management system, all these kind of the tools under the just-in-time contribute towards reducing time to repair and maintain the plant and equipment. So that's why we call them as the tools contributing to the JIT into the lean maintenance practices. Total quality management as a bundle would require you to act upon the Kaizens, 5S, maintenance process mappings, error proofing or the POKA-YOKI, benchmarking, Judoka, failure mode effective analysis, and so on and so forth. Okay. So if you do these if you deploy these kind of the tools, this will help you to achieve the total quality management overall from the maintenance angle. The third bundle is TPM, and TPM becomes the core of the lean maintenance practices with the autonomous maintenance, plant maintenance, root cause analysis and problem solving, safety improvement, OEE, work order system, and so on and so forth. Okay. And without focus on the empowering and training teams, any implementation would become ineffective over here. Okay. So ensuring maintenance technicians are multi-skilled, there is a high employee involvement, work teams have been formed, and maintenance and reliability groups are deployed. All this will help in implementing the lean maintenance practices very easy. Okay. So these are the 4 bundles which actually, so this chart actually very clearly represents that what your lean maintenance practices looks like, what kind of the tools it has to deploy, and in which particular categories. Just to reiterate back on the JIT, just-in-time manufacturing, or in this particular case, we can take it as the just-in-time maintenance. It is also known as the just-in-time production or the Toyota production system, and it's a methodology aimed primarily at reducing times within the production system as well as response time from supplier and to customer. And in maintenance, this JIT is to predict repairs as accurately as possible and act upon them in timely manner. So that's what the JIT maintenance would be about. TQM is customer focused, advocates total employee involvement, is process centered, has integrated systems, is driven by the strategic and systematic approach, relies on the continual improvement, does the fact-based decision making, and addresses the communication. That's what the total quality management is. And if you see all these things, we also apply out into the lean maintenance practices as well. TPM, again I'm repeating, is a foundation of the lean maintenance. It is an initiative for optimizing the reliability and effective of the manufacturing equipment. TPM is a team-based proactive maintenance and involves every level and function in the organization, from top executive to the shop floor. TPM addresses the entire production system lifecycle and builds a solid shop floor-based systems to prevent all losses. TPM's objective is TPM objective includes the elimination of all accidents, defects, and breakdowns. So 8 pillars of the TPM are autonomous maintenance, plant maintenance, quality maintenance, focused improvement, early equipment management, training and education, safety, health and environment, office TPM, and so on. So these are the 8 pillars of the TPM. Sorry. HRM on the other hand side encompasses all the practices to ensure that the human resources of an organization are used in such a way that the employer obtains the greatest possible benefit from their abilities. At the same time, the employees obtain both material and psychological rewards from their work. The HRM practices form an organization's performance through increased employees' knowledge, skills, and abilities, which we call it as a KSA, knowledge, skill, and abilities. They motivate the employees to leverage their KSAs for the firm's benefit and employees' empowerment. In addition, work teams, performance appraisals, and information sharing have been recommended to enhance an organization performance. The HRM includes the work teams, training and development, employee involvement, openness, information sharing, maintenance and reliability group, and multi-skilled maintenance technicians. So that's the HRM bundle. Okay. I thought we'll just quickly also cover the reliability-centered maintenance. Sorry. While the TPM focuses on preventing the breakdown by maintaining the effectiveness and reliability of the equipment, reliability-centered maintenance is focused on optimizing the effectiveness of the maintenance tasks. Reliability-centered maintenance, or RCM, as it is in short form known, like TPM, you have the RCM. This RCM analysis provides a structured framework for analyzing the functions and potential failures for a physical asset. And that asset could be anything. It could be a manufacturing production line. It could be a particular equipment. It could be even, a pallet truck also used for shifting around the material. It could be anything. So any kind of a physical asset where there can be a potential failure. This focuses on preventing system functions, on preserving the system function, rather than preserving the equipment. Okay. RCM is used to develop scheduled maintenance plans that will provide an acceptable level of operability with an acceptable level of risk in an efficient and cost-effective manner. Okay. There are some other common tools which are used. Again, you would see them as, you would be familiar about these tools from the Lean. So other common tools are Kaizen events, value stream mapping, standardized workflows, mistake proofing, and many more like this. We apply the Kaizen events to the maintenance related processes because they can yield impressive results. Okay. Typically, the maintenance function starts at receiving a request for work and ends at closing the work out and making sure the equipment history is documented. Through the entire process, there are several improvement opportunities, and the value stream mapping helps in identifying and eliminating the non-value added activities taking place. Okay. Standardized workflow, it can help in creating the standard processes for all types of the maintenance work. And mistake proofing is also critical to maintenance. It ensures that sufficiently detailed job plans are drafted. Mistake proofing techniques are applied to avoid the future failures at the end of maintenance work completion. So these are some of the other common tools which can also be used into the lean maintenance practices. Sorry. So we'll just quickly take a look at the lean maintenance workflow. The process of implementing the lean maintenance It doesn't happen all at once. It always takes time, and you always need a number of elements to play to make it work. So we'll talk some of those elements. The first one is form a maintenance team. Probably we will always want to form a maintenance team, and we will also prefer to have team members who have experience working on the specific assets which need to be managed or which need to be maintained, because these people may have a better understanding or a strong sense of what can go wrong with these kind of assets very easily. Okay, the team could also include the maintenance technicians, but it could also be just made up of the machine operators. So that's the first part. Second part is that we need to choose someone who would lead out on planning and scheduling the maintenance tasks. This person should have a general knowledge of how each machine should be managed, but they will also need the strong leadership and organizational skills as well. The third area or the third step would be pick systems to manage. Again, we just said that lean maintenance doesn't happen all at once, and it is often best to start with just one system. So we must choose the system that is the most helpful, probably the one that contributes most to the maintenance cost or the production downtime. Okay, we should start with the system where there are high maintenance costs and production downtime. As we start learning more about implementing the lean maintenance practices with that particular system where production downtime is high, we will also be able to expand those experiences and the systems to the other system very easily. And at the end, obviously, we will extend it out to all the systems in our factory or facilities, and we will, work upon bringing down the maintenance cost throughout our organization. The next step is schedule the lean maintenance. Once we have a team, a leader, and a system in place, then we start determining what tasks need to be done and schedule the best time to complete each. Within a preventive maintenance strategy, those tasks will be scheduled on a recurring time-centered basis. Okay? If you have condition monitoring instrumentation in place in the system, then maintenance scheduling might be based more on the predictive maintenance alerts that are triggered by our computerized maintenance management system. Okay? Next, obviously, would be that we work in the cycles, because the lean maintenance involves the recurring task. And that means that your team could face spikes in the workload at regular intervals if we are not careful. So to keep workloads at consistently manageable levels, we work in the cycles, and we have the team cycling through the different systems to make sure that they all understand all of these systems. This is especially important if you have a lot of machinery or numerous systems to maintain out. Last step is repeat. You continue to repeat this cycle, and since lean maintenance is proactive, it's not reactive, we need to repeat this on a regular basis to make sure that each piece of the equipment or all the systems and all the assets stay in the top working condition. As we repeat each cycle of our lean maintenance procedures, we should also conduct audits to make sure that it is working as efficiently as possible. And if we see areas where time or resources are being wasted, we need to make changes to help our teams operate more efficiently. So that's the a bird's eye view of the lean maintenance workflow. Let's take a quick look at the lean maintenance roadmap. Maintenance roadmap, it can be divided up into the 5 stages. We specify the value, and that is the first stage, which focuses on defining an organization maintenance system, including activities, maintenance planning strategies, and maintenance scope. This stage also defines the employees' training on the lean maintenance stage. The second stage is to identify the value stream. First, we specify the value, and now we are identifying the value stream. This would include all maintenance-related activities and the processes. And the stage starts by mapping the maintenance value stream, then locating the waste sources. This stage ends with setting the equipment performance measures, such as availability, overall equipment effectiveness, and mean time between the failures. The third stage is to flow the value through the waste network analysis and then the waste practices analysis. This stage documents the current state gap of the maintenance department. The fourth stage is to confirm that the equipment is pulling the value through all maintenance processes. Okay? If you're not pulling the value, then it is not going to help us. So execution of the lean principles takes place in this particular stage. And this stage involves some steps including the reconfiguration of the value stream maps or designing the future stream maps, selection of the lean best practices applicable over here, develop the lean transformational strategy, and even evaluate the OEE, which we are getting over here. The last stage is to pursue the waste elimination from the maintenance processes. And this can be achieved through the auditing of the lean maintenance results, standardizing the lean practices and procedures, teams and employees development, and even expanding the lean practices. Okay, so this is the overall, the 5 stages of the lean maintenance roadmap. So lean maintenance program, we must have some kind of a metrics which can be defined for measuring the progress and effectiveness of the program. And these metrics can be percentage of work orders for scheduled maintenance versus the unscheduled repairs, percentage of the labor time for scheduled maintenances versus unscheduled repairs, and percentage of time scheduled for the maintenance team to train operators in testing and preventive maintenance versus the time scheduled for the actual maintenance. The fifth one is percentage of monthly downtime for scheduled maintenance versus unscheduled repairs, monthly cost of lost production, monthly hours of cost of downtime due to lack of required replacement parts, and monthly cost of storing the replacement parts. So these are the top 9 metrics which I could identify or could talk about. There are several other metrics which can be added up into this. These metrics, if you look into it, they're no too different from the core maintenance program. However, these metrics remain focused on the waste reduction in the maintenance activities. So they are towards bringing in, checking up whether your own efficiency of the maintenance is happening in a correct way or not. Okay. Contrasting the lean with the traditional. And as we mentioned earlier, traditional maintenance, you could call it as a reactive. Maintenance operations react to the equipment failure. Maintenance does nothing until there is a breakdown. Making maintenance is a misnomer because repairs is never an equivalent of the maintenance. What happens in the tradition is you are repairing, you are not maintaining. Only when something has gone wrong, you go check it out, what is wrong. Either you replace, repair, or do any of those, repair activities. It's not a maintenance. In lean maintenance, proactive measures are taken to prevent the equipment failures through the predictive and preventive maintenance actions. And the objective is to eliminate the repair jobs by preventing the equipment failure. So that's the core difference between the traditional versus the lean maintenance practices overall. Okay. So friends, to summarize, lean maintenance is a prerequisite for lean manufacturing implementation. Lean maintenance is a proactive maintenance operation employing the planned and scheduled maintenance activities through the total productive maintenance practices using the maintenance strategies developed through application of reliability-centered maintenance decision logic and practiced by the empowered action teams. These teams use the 5S, Kaizen, autonomous maintenance together along with the multi-skilled maintenance technicians. And these teams are supported by the distributed lean maintenance stores that can provide the parts and materials on just-in-time basis and are backed by the reliability engineering groups that perform the root cause analysis, failed part analysis, maintenance procedure effectiveness analysis, predictive maintenance analysis, and analysis of the condition monitoring results. Lean maintenance focuses on removing the wasted, inefficient, and sporadic maintenance recycles. Okay. So thank you, friends, for joining in this session. I know that we are ahead of the time today. In case you want to go through the previous recordings of the past webinars, please subscribe to the Skilltelligence channel on the YouTube. All the past sessions are over there, and you can go through them. As mentioned in the last webinar, as Kishore had mentioned last time, we're launching the first certified practitioner course on certified maintenance professional on the 5th of December. This will be 10 days long, weekend only training program, and it will cover the topics like maintenance management, preventive and predictive maintenance, planning and scheduling, TPM, maintenance leadership, asset management, work order systems, problem solving skills, workplace communication and conflict management, continuous improvement tools and techniques. Okay. The course will be having a lot of case studies, exercises, small projects to be executed, and a lot of discussions in context to your own scenarios which you may be facing in your workplace. Okay. I'm sure Kishore will be announcing out the registration details and the other program details shortly. We will also be putting up the details onto the website, and you can contact whoever is interested. You can contact Mr. Kishore Sharma at Auro University. So thank you once again. And if there are any questions, Kishore, we can take them up now. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for such a wonderful presentation. So we have few questions. So let me just take one by one.
Sure.
Yeah. The first one, can you detail reliability-centered maintenance?
Yeah. So reliability-centered maintenance is actually focused on optimizing the effectiveness of the maintenance task. And it is used to develop the scheduled maintenance plans that can ensure a minimum level of operability along with an acceptable level of risk in a very efficient and cost-effective manner. Okay? And RCM normally, would address the questions like what causes the functional failure, what happened when the failure occurred, what way does this failure matters, and this helps in understanding the functions. It helps in understanding the functional failures, failure modes, effects of the failure, consequences of the failure, and so on. So once you know all these things, then you can actually identify that what maintenance tasks should be taken up by which it can be effective maintenance on the shop floor. So that's what the reliability-centered maintenance is all about.
Thank you, sir. Next question. How does lean maintenance reduces inefficiencies in maintenance activities?
Yeah. So see, lean maintenance focuses on the condition-based scheduling for maintenance. And it also focuses on reducing the need for unscheduled repairs. If the schedule is not there and unscheduled repairs keep on happening, the inefficiencies will always be there. Okay. So minimizing or eliminating unscheduled downtime, this will lead to improved equipment life and availability, as well as the effectiveness of the maintenance approach. Also, if you work out multiple maintenance activities during a scheduled downtime, then that can also improve the efficiencies of maintenance program. We have usually seen that there is a downtime plan, and maintenance people focus only on the area where the downtime is scheduled. They don't take up the preventive maintenance of rest of the equipment. That again is not a good thing. So if you can do the multiple maintenance activities while the downtime is already there, then that can also improve the effectiveness of the maintenance program. So carrying out the continuous improvement, even in the maintenance activities, where you can use the Kaizens or the Gemba walks and so on and so forth, they also help in reducing the inefficiencies. So lean maintenance, that's how helps in reducing the inefficiencies in the maintenance activities.
Thank you, sir. Next question. How cycle of maintenance affect lean maintenance?
So if you don't have the regular cycles of the maintenance and you do it once and forget about it, and you don't go back to your equipment again to check whether the equipment is working properly or not. Plus at the same time, if you have scheduled out that I need to maintain this equipment every 3 months, every 6 months, or every, based upon the user cycles and operational cycles, then the lean maintenance impact is going to really come down. Because again, then you're letting it move to a reactive maintenance instead of a proactive maintenance. So maintenance cycles have to be maintained in a scheduled and planned way continuously, and it's a prime factor for a good lean maintenance. Okay? So that's how the cycles of the maintenance, a bad cycle of maintenance can affect the lean maintenance.
Thank you, sir. Next question. Can lean maintenance smooth the maintenance workload?
Yeah, of course, it can, and it does. In fact, if there is an unscheduled maintenance, it can come down dramatically if you have the plant maintenance and the reliability centered maintenance approach. And if you are not having the unscheduled maintenance, if your breakdowns are low, then obviously your maintenance workload is going to come down. You're not going to be having a frantic approach of running between one machine to another, addressing the breakdowns, because the breakdowns mean, unscheduled breakdowns mean that there is a loss of production and the pressure from the management as well as the production team to bring the equipment back online. So your workload increases when you are not doing it in an unscheduled way and you are reacting. So lean maintenance definitely helps in smoothing out the maintenance workload.